Mother, I'm safe.
You're sure you didn't catch dengue fever?
No, Mother, I did not catch dengue fever.
Well, how's your temperature?
Normal.
Color of your tongue?
Pink.
What about your
Regular.
Now, Lyle, how is my darling future son-in-law?
He's happy to be home, Mom. Could you hold on 1 second?
Are you paying any attention? This is important.
No.
Every story gets to have a really big coincidence, and here's ours. Who should see them walking down the street but Ursula's meddling mother?
Yes, Lyle Vandergroot, please. He's not? Ursula, it's Mother. Pick up the phone and tell me who that man was I saw you strolling with today. And where is Lyle? We must discuss the engagement party. I know you're there, Ursula. Pick up the phone and tell me why you have been avoiding me. Pick up the phone! Well, I think that was an overreaction.
One of the most daring rescues ever recorded live on television. This is Valerie Devlin reporting to you from under the Bay Bridge. Back to you, Carolyn.
You know, they say the city by the bay is the most romantic in the world, and it looks as though there might be a little romance unfolding under the Bay Bridge. We'll be back in a moment.
Ursula Stanhope went inside to break the news to her parents, who took it extremely well.
Mother, I have something very important to tell you, and I hope you'll understand. I don't want to marry Lyle anymore.
We understand, dear.
Just kidding. The young Miss Stanhope proceeded to spill the
I went
beans
to the jungle.
until she got to the important part at the end.
I don't want to marry Lyle anymore.
I knew it. It's that swinging man from the bridge. I saw you smooching on TV.
Mother, we weren't smooching.
How could you do this to me?
Calm down, Beatrice, and let her say.
I thought...
I know you're upset, and so am I, but we can't force her to marry someone against her will.
Why not? As far as I'm concerned, you caught one of those viruses. Yes, one of those dreadful jungle viruses that get nice girls all confused. And if Lyle survives that awful jail, you will simply have to kiss and make up. As for this evening, we will hold our heads high and we will carry on. Now, darling, where is that charming young friend of yours? We haven't got all day. Oh, Ursula, look how wonderful. And look at Richard's exquisite figurines of you and darling Lyle.
Mom, Dad, this is George.
Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Ursula.
How do you do? It is always such a pleasure to see you, Mr. Mayor.
And you know, it's so nice. Be around some normal people for a change.
Well, perfectly normal, I assure you. In an exceptional way, of course.
Of course. You know, I'd really like to meet the man you deem good enough to marry your daughter.
Oh, well, unfortunately, Lyle is busy at the moment, attending to some legal affairs. George, would you mind stepping outside with me? Thank you so much. For just a moment?
Sure.
I already think I know something about you.
Oh?
You are in love with my daughter.
Oh, Mrs. Ursula, not so dumb.
And that does present a problem to me. You see, you and Ursula together would be unbefitting. Let me put it in a way you might understand. Where you come from, zebras marry zebras and leopards marry leopards. Well, Ursula is a stripe, and you are a spot, one which I intend to have removed as soon as possible.
So you know what, Ursula, to love George.
I would rather have my tongue nailed to this table every morning at breakfast. When Lyle returns, this wedding will proceed as planned. If you do anything to upset that, I will...
Steak tartare, Mrs. Stanhope?
Oh, no, thank you. I've had quite enough protein for today. Have a pleasant evening, Mr. Jungle. Well, of course he went back to the jungle. Where else would he go? The Hague? It's really all a question of stripes and spots.
What? Oh, no. You got to him. Mother, what did you say?
I simply said that if he really cared for you, he'd leave you alone.
Beatrice, perhaps we should just...
Arthur! Now, Ursula, darling, there's a big difference between marriageable material and a fling in the jungle.
A fling in the jungle? Who says I had a fling in the jungle?
You've been head over heels for that ape ever since you brought him here. That kind of love is fleeting. You'll get over it.
Did you just say love?
No.
You did.
Ursula.
You're right.
Don't say it.
I love him. I'm out of here.
Arthur, say something.
Be careful out there, honey.
What?
Goodbye, Daddy.
What?
I love you, Mom. Thank you.
Arthur, do something.
What would you have me do? There's obviously no stopping her.
Oh, God. Ursula!
God, that woman's a pain in the...
Arthur, I wish you'd do something about all these monkeys. I feel like Jane Goodall.
Madam, I knew Jane Goodall, and you are no Jane Goodall.
Stay still. I don't want to fall off.
Yes, it was Beatrice Stanhope, Ursula's mother.
Hello? They'll be begging me to take them back.
Ngoja, naenda chafya.
What did he say?
He said, hold on. I'm going to...
Oh, I've had it. Oh. Are you sure we're going in the right direction?
Acha to Magizi Zanduku.
What did he say?
He was admiring your luggage.
Eh, well, whatever.
And he wondered why you want to take your grandson out of the jungle.
I'm not having him grow up here, an illiterate savage.
Wajing da'awa.
Miye peke nitam sukuma.
Sorry, we can't kill Beatrice.
You can wish for anything you want.
Except your grandmother, because she's already here.
Grandma! Mother?
Darling. Where's that husband of yours? Shouldn't he be at his own son's birthday party? How could he possibly be running late? This is the jungle. Traffic back up on the Bukuvu Expressway.
Old Mrs. Ursula? Oh?
Beatrice cunningly connived to tempt Ursula and Junior back home, using a ploy that has worked the grandparents since the beginning of time.
I have gifts for you. How'd you like to play with this? You just flip the switch, and it can do anything you want.
Doesn't that look so hard?
Beatrice quickly put in motion her gift-giving gambit to get Ursula to come home.
George,
Oh, Mrs. Ursula.
come talk. You don't seem to have enough time for your subjects or your family.
What do you think George should do?
George should let them go.
Beatrice the befuddling her handsome hubby.
Good morning, Mother. I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't play with George's mind.
Well, there really isn't much to play with, but all right. That is, if you've got your obsession with her under control.
Of course, I have it under control. Obsession. Strong word.
What? Hello? How could Ape not own Ape Mountain? My God, that's like saying the Rockefellers don't own Rockefeller Center.
They don't.
Oh.
Turns out your idiot son-in-law has it.
Let me ask him. George, where do you keep the deed to Ape Mountain?
George hides butt plug.
Enchanting. He keeps it in his underwear.
George must go Vegas to help.
Thrilled that George was leaving, Beatrice beamed like a Cheshire cat.
The old witch says,
The deed, I have the deed. This is the deed I have. I have the deed.
getting the deed is only half the battle. Doesn't mean anything unless you get Ursula to fall in love with you. Are you prepared for tonight?
I'm prepared.
Lyle.
Beatrice, you're looking lovely.
Uh-huh. And you deserve a husband who'd rather spend time with you than a gorilla. And then there's that wonderful charity cruise for some kind of poor people.
What do we do now?
I don't know.
Oh, look to your left.
I think I have an idea. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Turn the phone around, you idiot.
Everything's so foggy. Lyle's my husband.
Yes, darling, you've just been under a lot of stress lately. Hold your father's hand.
You're not my father.
In a bizarre case of life imitating art, tonight's aerial drama over Las Vegas has reached the very heights of the Empire State Building. Our correspondent...
Feels really familiar.
It's King Kong.
I thought King Kong was in black and white.
Ah, would you believe Hollywood? They colorized it.
Beatrice had tracked her back to the Bakuvo.
Mom?
We've come to take my daughter and grandson home. Now, George, you may think you've won the war, but there'll be more bulldozers. You give me back Ursula and Junior, and I'll give you back the deed. Oh, really? Must I be forced to endure this drivel? Take Ursula and Junior and let's get on with it.
Sure, no problem. I'll get right on that.
Bakuvo. And with Beatrice's full blessing,